everybody, and welcome back to Blanche Case Fitness. It's Wednesday, and you know what that means? It's time for Jump Around, our weekly cardio class, and happy St. Patty's Day. If there's one thing, and there's more than one thing, but if there's one thing that I will not forgive COVID for, it's for this being the second year in a row that I do not get to gather with my best friends and sing lots of beautiful Irish music and eat lots of corned beef and have a great time. So yeah, screw you, COVID, for this very specific reason. This was the first gathering last year that was the canary in the coal mine for, things are not going to go the way we planned. Because obviously it was scheduled for about this time last year, and that didn't work out. So we were like, cool, we'll push it to April. And then April came around and, got the Facebook reminder that you have an event coming up. And it was like, oh, well, let's push it to June. Surely that will be fine. And then we got to June and we're like, we just need to cancel this invite because clearly this party is not happening this year. And it sucked and it was sad. So yeah, screw you, COVID. But it was funny because I was sort of running around before class started and I was like, this is the problem I run into every year is that I don't really own a lot of green clothing. And then I realized that my hair is the perfect St. Patty's Day accessory and I didn't need to be worrying about it. So yes, and even if I wasn't wearing anything green, I'm in my living room. Well, I'm in my studio, so no one can pinch me anyway. Yay, which is a terrible tradition and I hate it. But anyway, hi everybody. Now that I've gone to my St. Patty's Day rant, look, I was in a pirate a cappella group in college and we took St. Patrick's Day very seriously. And it is more meaningful than a lot of the annual holidays are to me. And it is a lot sadder to me to miss out on this particular one. So, but there's a light. A lot of more and more of my friends are getting vaccinated, which is exciting. Not necessarily those of us in close proximity to one another, but slowly but surely, I guess. But yes, I hope you're having a good week. It is beautiful and sunny out. Still cold. I mean, the snow has certainly not gone anywhere. Actually, it was snowing a little bit this morning when I got up, but barely at all. But still very winter feeling, which is good. I mean, I'm on board for things feeling like winter. Spring is coming, but it hasn't technically arrived yet, I don't think. So a beautiful day, and yeah, I'm definitely feeling like some exercise, like some good cardio, jumping around and just seeing what we can do to get our heart rates up today. And if that sounds good to you, then stick around. Hopefully you're ready to rock. Oh my God. Every once in a while, phrases come out of our mouths, and it's like, that makes me seem like I'm, 70 years old. But so many phrases, because of course, so many of those phrases are things that we picked up from our parents and our grandparents who probably are in their 70s. And so, sometimes they just emerge out of the recesses of my memory. And then I go, wow, that is a phrase I've not said in a long time. But I guess that just happened. So here we are. All right. You know what? There are some days when I come here, and actually, I don't have a lot brilliant to say about the 6 Asian women who were murdered in Atlanta. I tweeted about this earlier. Anyone who's watched my stream with any regularity knows exactly what I think of that. You know what? Everybody can have whatever hairdo makes them feel sexy. I think I'm a stick with my, well, someday I'll leave a side shave again. But yeah, I don't have anything brilliant to say. It's bullshit. The fact that the fucking police are trying to justify it and make it okay by being like, oh, well, he had a really bad day. As if the 6 women and 8 total people who were murdered didn't have a fucking bad day. Or like, oh, you know, he had a sexual addiction, which it's like, oh, okay. I mean, I could have figured out that he was a misogynist because he basically killed all women. But guess what? Your hate can be intersectional too. Like, just because he's also a misogynist does not mean that he's not also a racist who was actively targeting Asian women. Anyway, I can't even, it's mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing to me, and it's just unacceptable. So, yeah, I posted, I tweeted some resources earlier, organizations to support, petitions. I certainly hope that there are protests and gatherings and vigils planned in the Atlanta area. So yeah, you know, I will try to post anything else that I find, but oh no, the motive's known. The motive's known. He wanted to kill Asian women. I think possibly it was specifically Asian sex workers. But yeah, no, the motive's known. The police are just trying to complicate it because, heaven forfend, we actually hold a white dude accountable for his racist and white supremacist murdering of other people. There's got to have been another reason, right? No, there isn't. There isn't. You know, people love to be like, oh, he had a bad day. That's bullshit. I had a bad day. I had a terrible day on Monday, and you know what I did? I ate a lot of junk food. I drank a lot of hard seltzer, and I watched some crappy movies. I did not go find a gun and murder a bunch of people. Like, ridiculous. So maybe that will fuel our workout today, you know, because every day in this country, it seems like there is a reminder of how much we have to fight for and how much we have to work to build a more just, more equitable, less deadly society. Because for a country that likes to claim that it's important for us all to have access to guns so that we can be safer, we sure don't seem to be fucking safe. Yeah. All right. You know what? Yeah, I'm feeling the fuel. I'm feeling the fire. It's important to talk about this stuff. It is important, from my perspective, to be very clear where I stand on this, which is to say, stop Asian American Pacific Islander hate. Stop murders, violence against these populations. Stop rewriting history or pretending that racism towards these groups is not just as fucking deadly as racism towards other groups. And yeah, almost as if this shit's correlated. Crazy. So we're gonna work out, and we are going to take care of ourselves, and then we're going to take that same energy that we are about to take to this cardio class, and we are going to use it to take care of our communities, to support all of the Asian American folks in our lives, make sure that they have all the resources that they need, and that they know that you support them in fact and in word and deed, and not just in private. And we're gonna keep on trucking, my friends. We're gonna keep on doing that work. All right, speaking of, it's time for class. So let's do our pre-class checklist. Everybody make sure you have your water in whatever vessel you are using. Ooh, clearly I haven't been drinking enough water today. I like to be honest when I'm not hydrating myself well. I know that I remind you to hydrate all the time, and hopefully you are better at listening to me than I am at listening to me. But you know, if you haven't been good at hydrating yourself, I understand. I absolutely do. We should both make a more concerted effort to hydrate ourselves, especially if you're planning on drinking to any degree tonight in honor of St. Patrick's Day. Please get drunk in your homes. Please don't get drunk outside the home. There's still a pandemic. Just take care of yourselves. Please be safe. Oh my God. So we've got our water, we've got our comfy clothes, whatever that means to you, or mat-sized space on the floor. And if you use a fitness wearable, now is the time to turn it on to that high intensity interval training setting. Woo! All right, my friends, we're here, we're ready, speaker is on, water is set, and I'd say it's time to warm up. Oh God, all right, well, I'll put my glasses on for one last chat message. Getting yoked? I don't think I know that phrase. Okay, you're gonna have to explain that to me later, but right now I have to run a warm up. I could sit here all day. Okay, hiya. Now I'm getting cute pictures of a friend trying on cute outfits that she just got. I can't look at them right now. I'm teaching class. All right. We gotta have a little fun, my friends. We gotta have a little fun, even on the days when bad shit is happening. We gotta remember that there is still joy, and that joy is worth fighting for, and that joy is worth spreading to as many people as we can. All right, and yeah, we gotta remember that. All right, on your mats, on your backs, 1 foot crossed over the opposite knee, and as soon as that timer goes off, we will begin with our hip rocks and bridges. We got there. Oh, holy cow. Yeah. All right, I am definitely feeling it today. You know, anyone who was in class last week knows that I have recently sort of turned a corner on my own exercise plateau, in that now I am officially doing the entirety of class with you. You know, when I was first starting out, I would generally do like 1 set for each timer to demonstrate, maybe 2, but didn't really have the lung capacity to to do the exercises and also keep talking the whole time. And as I've gotten stronger, I have been able to do more of class than I previously had, but I had always stopped short of trying to do the entire class until last week, when I tested it out and went, you know what? I actually do have the capacity for this. And so, you know, this week I've been doing the entirety of class. Well, this week. I mean, there's only been 1 class so far this week, but I did the whole thing. And I did the whole class on Saturday as well. And it's really exciting and really awesome, but it also means that my body is feeling a little bit more wear than it usually does. So when I get started with the warm-up, my body's like, hey, I know you didn't necessarily notice that we were sore, but we're sore. And yeah, it's a nice feeling. And a good reminder to just keep an eye on how I'm feeling overall. Make sure that I'm listening to any signals that my body and brain are trying to send me, because that's always important. And this is sort of a ramp up in intensity, and that frequently means, sorry. That frequently has an impact on our overall energy levels that we don't necessarily think about. You know, if you ramp up the amount of exercise that you were doing by a noticeable percentage, by a statistically significant amount, and you are not paying attention to how you're fueling yourself and when you're fueling yourself, how you're hydrating, how much rest you're getting and all of that stuff, then it can very quickly take a very unexpected toll on you. Because you've ramped up the amount of energy that you expect your body to be able to provide without necessarily addressing the other aspects of how we get more energy. So it can be really, I have a tendency for myself to try and do too many things at once. Shocking, I know, to anybody who knows me in real life. But what that can frequently mean is that in the case of exercise, I'll get into a good rhythm with, the amount of exercise that I'm getting, the number of things that I'm doing. And then I'll be like, all right, well, I'm ready to ramp it up, and I'll try to add too many things into my schedule. Over the summer, I went from like just teaching the 4 classes to, all right, I'm going to teach the 4 classes, and I'm also going to bike 20 miles a week, and I'm also going to, try and take walks on a daily basis. And I did that for maybe a week, and then my body was like, "What are you doing? You're not fueling us enough for this crap." And I was like, "Oh, I really hadn't thought of that, body. Sorry about that." So I'm trying to pay attention to that, and to remind myself that I have ramped up my movement pretty significantly in the last week. And if I just need to stick with that and sort of strengthening up to that place and figuring out, how I need to fuel myself and hydrate myself for this new heightened level of activity before I go adding more stuff in, then that's okay, So like I'm planning to do those Instagram tags for, just reminding people to sort of get up throughout the day and do little bursts of movement, really small sets of like 10 push-ups or 10 mountain climbers or 10 high knee runs or something like that. And I had intended to start that this week. And I just have not been able to motivate myself to do that. And I'm trying to remind myself that that's totally okay. I don't need to do everything in this one week. I can give myself at least a full week to get used to, okay, I'm doing the entirety of class, which is a much higher intensity level than I'd previously been giving, and I can focus on that first, and then once I have that a little bit more under my belt, then I can go, all right, let's see what else I can add in, because there are a few more things that I do want to add in. But again, if we try to shove everything into our routine all at once, we end up not feeling great about any of the stuff that we're doing, and then frequently we end up just falling away from the things that we're trying to do. So if you, like me, have a tendency to do too many things, then take this opportunity to say, all right, I need to calm down. I need to calm down, and I need to just relax and let myself ease, let myself move at a pace that is safe for me, that makes sense for me. And that pace may be slower than I wish it was, but that's okay. Because again, We're not trying to jump to the top of the mountain. It's not necessary, and it shouldn't be our goal, you know? We've got a lifetime to work on this stuff. We don't have to get all of it down today. So, definitely one of those weeks when I'm trying to remind myself of that fact. So hopefully there are some of you out there who are also trying to remind yourself of that fact, who can find some solace in these ramblings, because you know I think it's just as important to talk about, you know, the things that don't go according to our plans and that we have to figure out a different approach on, or figure out if maybe we don't have time to work on that thing right now, or maybe we don't have the mental or physical space to work on that thing right now. And that's totally okay, all right? That is not a bad thing. It's not a failure. It's us recognizing our capacity and honoring it. And that is super important. So, yeah, if you have been trying to overload your schedule in any particular area of your life, and I have a feeling that many of you probably know exactly what I'm talking about in this instance, then let's make a pact to try to slow down for at least this week. Just try to acknowledge that we are human, that there is an upper cap to our capacity, and that there is nothing wrong with that. It just means that we need to better identify what that cap is right now and work within it, rather than trying to force ourselves past it, because that doesn't work. It's the same reason when we do our free weight training, why I remind you to always load towards the capacity of your weaker side rather than your stronger side, because trying to just shove a bunch of things on top of ourselves and force ourselves to get to the point where we can handle them is just not a safe or healthy way to strengthen ourselves in any capacity, okay? And it doesn't show the respect that we need to have for ourselves, for our bodies, for our brains, and for their abilities, and for the fact that they are human. You know? We're not robots, and we're not superheroes. We are human beings, and we need to acknowledge that, you know? Sometimes we are fragile, and we need to take care of ourselves accordingly. Sometimes we need to go at a slower pace than other people around us to build to the same level of strength. And that's totally fine, okay? We don't all have to be on the exact same journey in order to succeed at our goals. Like, there is nothing more pointless than trying to compare ourselves to other people and compare our performance to other people's, because it's just irrelevant. It truly is irrelevant. You know what? Everybody moves at a different pace. Everybody has different needs. Everybody has different strengths. Everybody has different opportunities for improvement. And no one is required to get to that top of that mountain faster just because somebody else was able to do so. You know, there may be other mountains that you're able to get to the top of super quickly that other people are still, you know, struggling just to motivate themselves out of base camp. And that's totally fine, you know? So it's one of the things I love about teaching on Twitch, honestly. Because, and I do love teaching in-person classes. There is a really wonderful energy that you can get from being in the room and being surrounded by people who are all taking class. But it can also provide a lot of opportunities for us to judge ourselves harshly against other people, or to feel embarrassed or ashamed about our performance, you know? And that is just never helpful. It doesn't help us to grow or improve. It certainly doesn't help us to feel better about exercise. And so what I like about doing our Twitch classes is the fact that you do not have to worry one bit about anybody watching you and judging you, because you are at home alone. And that's awesome. That is so cool, you know? So if this is the type of class that you wouldn't want to take in person because of that, then you have the ability to go, all right, well, I guess I'll try it now because I don't need to worry about that. And that's just really exciting to me, to see people have that opportunity to try something new that they wouldn't necessarily have felt comfortable trying before. And I love that. I love that a lot. And even those of us who have and do take classes in person, it can still be really nice to be able to work on a class like this without worrying about anyone else in the room, including me, without worrying about falling behind or anything like that. So, woo! All right. Good. Okay. There we go. Really? I don't think I have ever heard that phrase before. So there we are. Learn something new every day. And isn't that fun? Tell me, fellow glasses wearers, if you too have the experience of fogging your glasses up while drinking out of an open water container when you've been exercising. Because I definitely do. All right. We are going to, look, just because I'm a fitness instructor doesn't mean I've heard every term. There are a lot of different ways to go about this particular profession, and, you know, let's be fair, getting ripped or swole is not particularly high on my priority list of focus points. All right, so we're going to do tabatas, but we are going to increase the work interval each time. We're going to do our nice ramp up, ramp down, do. And we're going to have 2 exercises per tabata. So we're gonna start with our usual 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. And we're gonna start with turtle burpees. So we just did our usual burpees. Now we're gonna have to think slightly outside the box. Rock up onto the shoulders, up onto the feet, jump back into that plank position. We do the wave push-up, jump the feet forward. We don't need to have to clap, just jump up in the air and then repeat, okay? So we've got turtle burpees, and then I think we are gonna do some bicycles. So on your back, contract your abdominals so that it lifts your chest and shoulders off the ground. One knee into the chest, other leg extended but off the floor. Opposite elbow to knee, and switch and go back and forth. All right? So turtle burpees and bicycles. We're just going back and forth between the two. Remember, Tabatas. So the first sound does not mean go, thank goodness. This is going to be intense for me because I did not do the whole class last week, Wednesday. So this is going to be my first time trying to do the entire class. And I'm going to be easy on myself. I don't necessarily need to go for maximum energy output because I am already increasing my own personal energy output. So, like I was saying earlier, I don't have to do everything at once, right? So, I don't need to be going for the most turtle burpees I've ever done in 20 seconds. I can, in fact, ramp slightly down on the amount of energy that I'm throwing in there and focus on just the overall ramp up in energy from doing more of the overall sets than I usually do, while also chattering away at everybody and see how that feels, you know? And of course, as class goes on, if I go, I think I have a little bit of additional energy to give, then I can always ramp up as we go along. But to start with, I'm going to be ramping slightly back from where I would go and focusing more on form and on doing the exercises the whole time. So basically, I'm kind of going for a bare minimum class, you know, because I'm focusing on starting on time, stopping on time, and doing the exercises correctly. And as I always tell you, those 3 things are more than enough to give me a great workout. And I don't need to be pushing for more from myself. I can really just stick to those 3 things and see how I feel at the end of class, okay? So I want you to always remember that that is totally legit. If you are making a big increase in your overall energy output, it is okay to let the individual components of class be a little less intense than they might be otherwise. And when you get to the end of that, you figure out where you feel you are and what you feel like you can ramp up. And maybe you go, all right, I think I just want to stick with this bare minimum for a while. I think that that is gonna get me through what I need to focus on. And that's totally fine. All right. Woo! Good job, everybody. Yeah. Feeling good. Feeling strong. Let's get some water. Ooh, water is going to be important today. Yep. Gotta love it. Okay. I should not talk while I'm drinking water. That is never a good plan. There we go. All right. So, next set, 30 seconds of work to 10 seconds of rest. Still 2 exercises. So we're still going back and forth. Alrighty. And we're going to do, first exercise is going to be, Flaming Scarlets, because we haven't done specifically those in a while. Alright, so arms in a V, and then just running in place, trying to get those knees up above the crease in the hips, or as high as you can get them, okay? So whichever one makes the most sense for you. And then second exercise is going to be a full pike extension. So starting in this pike position, balanced on your tailbone, extend arms and legs out as far as you can while keeping them off the ground. And then engage the abdominals to pull yourself back up to that position. Alrighty? So, Flaming Scarlets and our full pike extensions. Let me just update the timer here. So we just go back and forth between them. First sound does not mean go. Huzzah. Yeah, there we are. All right. That was our first sound. Now knock, knock, knock tells us to get ready, in position, and we are off. All right, so yeah, the ultimate goal of Flaming Scarlets and of the high knee runs is trying to get those knees up above the crease in the hips. So like this. But if you're not there yet, then just focus on getting them up as high as you can, okay? And, you know, one of the things that will usually happen, especially as we get more fatigued, is we will slowly start to not pull those knees up as high as we were. And when that happens, that's fine, okay? Just focus in and be like, is this as high as I can bring my knees? And if it is, all right, that's where you are. And if it isn't, then see if you can ramp back up, all right? So, you know, when I first started teaching, I was far more intense about wanting people to get those knees up, get them up above the hip crease. And what I've realized over the last 2 years or so is there's a degree of ableism in focusing so closely on, oh, you have to get your knees to this specific position, and if you don't, then you have failed the exercise. So I try not to focus on that as much anymore. Really, you just want to make sure that you are getting the knees up as high as you can, okay? And again, that is going to mean different things to different people because we all have different capacity and we are all at different points in our fitness journey, okay? So, you know, something like keeping your elbows straight. If you are keeping your arms in the V, that I'm a little more hardline on. However, if that is hard on your shoulders, then modify. You don't have to have the arms in that V at all. If that is going to prevent you from hanging on and doing the exercise, okay? So you can always modify the high knee runs to be, or rather, the Flaming Scarlets to be high knee runs, okay? And you do not need me to tell you that that's okay, all right? Wow, all right, last set, my loves. Woo! Make sure you are cheering for yourself as you are going through this set. Last time for our Flaming Scarlets, getting those knees up as high as they can go. Again, that may have lowered a little bit, and that's okay, but keep on trying, all right? And whenever you notice that they aren't going as high as they had been, see if you have the capacity to bring them back up. And if you don't, that's okay. All right? That is absolutely fine. Just keep moving in that instance. Because again, the bare minimum is starting on time, stopping on time, and doing the exercise correctly. Woo! Okay. Wow. Yeah. Let me tell you, my friends, I had gotten extremely comfortable in my previous amount of engagement in the actual exercise portion of these classes. And I am being reminded of just how badass and awesome each and every one of you is. Because you're showing up here and you've been doing the whole class. I'm late to the party. So if you've been taking class with me for a while and you've been getting through the whole thing, I want you to pat yourself on the back right now because you are a hero and it's awesome and you should be proud, all right? Okay, here we are. Yeah. So, now we are at 45 seconds of work to 15 seconds of rest. All right, so huzzah, we get more rest, but we also get a lot more work, okay? So our two exercises for this one are going to be, first, we're going to do our fake jump rope. So if you want a jump rope, go ahead and grab it. If you don't, that's fine. We can just air jump rope together. And we're legitimately just gonna air jump rope, okay? Swinging our arms as if we are controlling a jump rope. All right, we're not just holding them to the sides. We are actually moving them. And then just jumping. And the nice thing is, you're not gonna whap into your toes with a jump rope. I always appreciate that. And our second exercise is going to be shrimps, okay? So remember, shrimps, we are moving ourselves back and forth along our mats by first rocking shoulders, then hips, shoulders, then hips, shoulders, then hips. And I've got my core engaged the whole time. It's rounding my lower back, and the obliques are helping me to generate that movement. So they help to push my shoulders over, and they help to push my hips over, okay? And we just go back and forth along the mat. All right, so fake jump rope and shrimps for our 45 seconds of work to 15 seconds of rest. That is not the timer that I wanted. That one is. And this one always throws me off. So remember, there is more time in the rest timer. I always get a little bit thrown because I'm like, wait, did I miss the sound? Did I miss the knock, knock, knock? It feels like this has been going for a while. All right, there was the knock, knock, knock. And we're off. So for something like jump rope, I always want to say jumping jacks, but that's not what we're doing. Okay, for something like jump rope, the main form note I would give you is that core engagement. And we talk about that a lot, how even exercises that are not, you know, abdominal exercises are still more often than not going to be benefited by that core engagement. So when we engage the core here, we're helping to keep ourselves stabilized in one spot on the ground. We're helping to make it much more predictable where we will land, where we will move in the air, so that we do not have to worry about ending up anywhere that we didn't expect to go, okay? And it's really helpful. So just make sure that you are checking in with your abs, even in something like a jump rope, and seeing if they're engaged and just using them to stabilize the whole exercise. And you truly will feel it. You know, when you go from just sort of moving, jumping up and down, to having that really core set of abs, you will absolutely feel the difference. You will feel much more stable and held together, okay? Yeah, it's really helpful. So honestly, if you're going along and you notice that your core isn't engaged, I want you to actively engage those muscles and then see what the difference feels like, okay? Where you'll notice that your legs aren't tempted to move around in weird directions. Your arms are moving more predictably as they swing that imaginary jump rope, and you're staying much more rooted to a single spot on your mat rather than sort of wandering about accidentally, okay? All right, we're going along, we're having a good time. We are at the end of our second set right here, so our second time through our shrimps, remembering that the shrimps require a a lot of isolated body movements that we are not necessarily used to making, okay? Now, if you have, decades of dance training, like I do, then the isolation component of this exercise may come more easily to you. But if you've never done that training, then you may have a hard time sort of moving your shoulders without also bringing along a lot of other parts of the body that you're trying to not move. So if you're struggling with the shrimps, then don't start there, okay? I'll demonstrate when we get back to them, but it is far more valuable rather than just trying to keep forcing yourself along and messing it up and not feeling like you understand how you're supposed to be moving your body. It is far more valuable to start essentially with a boat rock and to just do a visualization exercise where every time you rock your shoulders off of the ground, you envision them moving in the direction you're trying to travel. And every time you lift your hips off the ground, you do the same thing. All right, so I'm going to start demonstrating that modification. So we just start here. We get that momentum of the rock. We get used to engaging our abdominals, contracting them backwards to create that round in the lower back. And we visualize moving our shoulders, moving our hips. And then, once we feel a little more confident, we try actually moving our shoulders and our hips. And if you still feel like you're struggling, then go back to the boat rock and work on that some more, okay? Because one of the things that you'll notice is it's sort of a twofold problem. First, our hips are just able to move a lot farther in that plane than our shoulders can. That's just sort of a physiological reality. Second, many of us are far more used to isolated hip movements than to isolating any other parts of the body and moving them separately. So a common issue that I see when people are trying to do shrimps for the first time is that they're moving their hips really far along the mat and their shoulders are not able to keep up. And so they basically end up turning in a circle, as if you're in a rowboat that has only one oar, So if you're struggling with that, go back to the boat rocks, all right? Don't just awkwardly turn yourself in a circle on the mat, but go back to those boat rocks, focus in, and go. Okay, visualize. This is how I want to move my shoulders. This is how I want to move my hips. And then try it again, all right? And it may take a few times before you get it fully figured out, and that is okay, all right? There is nothing wrong with that. Woo! Oh. Nothing wrong with that set either. All right, water time. Oh yeah, feeling good. Feeling some good core engagement there. Gotta love it. Gotta love those ab exercises. Well, You don't have to love them, but I do. So yeah, you get a lot of them here. And yeah, just something good to know about the class. All right. Now we're going to go back to 30-second work interval, 10-second rest interval. And same thing with 2 exercises. And I think that our first exercise is going to be skips. All right, so just skipping in place. Again, we lift one knee up, opposite elbow comes up, hop on the mat, and then switch other side. And again, we're just trying to stay in the same place on the mat. Alrighty? And then second exercise is going to be some, what do I want to do? Sorry, I just had a brain fart as to what I want to do. I think that I want to do mountain climbers. I think that's what I want to do. So from our plank position, shoulders directly over wrists, butts out of the air, and driving one knee after the other up towards our chest. All right? So skips and mountain climbers. 30-second work interval, 10-second rest interval. Let me find the right timer. There she blows. First sound does not mean go. And all right. Coming back around, my friends. Knock, knock, knock means get ready, get set. And we're off. So the same thing that we talked about with the jumping jacks, not the jumping jacks, with the jump rope is going to help us here as well, okay? And honestly, it'll help even more because we are moving our limbs a lot more in space. And so having that core engaged helps to pull the knees up towards the chest, and it helps to keep everything grounded around our trunks. All right, so for our mountain climbers, we want to make sure that we are keeping our shoulders nice and stable over the wrists, and we're not pushing backwards and pushing our hips up into the air, okay? So if you feel yourself pushing back into the air, then you want to push back down, okay? This set is going to be hard for me because even though I do know intellectually that I have the strength and stamina for mountain climbers, they are still one of those exercises that I'm very used to not feeling good at. And so every time I do them, I am far more prone to giving up. And honestly, that is one of the reasons why I set this as the exercise here, because I wanted to challenge myself and to be like, okay, you absolutely have the strength and have the stamina to make it through this. So let's see if you believe it. Whew. I mostly believe it. Well, we're halfway through, and that is the good thing. Because it means that we only have to get through 2 more sets of each of these. And the closer we get to the end, the more we know that we can do this. And the less our brain is going to be able to convince us otherwise, right? So, yeah, if you are having a similar time, then just remember, again, you can slow down, you can focus on, okay, I just want to keep my shoulders directly over my wrists and to keep my butt out of the air and that nice flat back. And if I can just get through those, then I can get through this. All right? I do not have to be here doing the fastest, most intensive sets I've ever done, because I have already well ramped up the intensity for myself, okay? So I can really just focus in on making sure that I get through, starting on time, stopping on time, doing the exercise correctly. And if I can do that, well, then let me tell you, I can do anything. All right, last time, and we're checking in on that form. We are making sure that it is just as good for this final set as it was for our very first set, okay? Shoulders over wrists, butts out of the air. You've got it. Woo! Oh, man. Oh, good job. Good job, everybody. Yeah, that was scary, honestly. Another big thing for me in terms of pushing myself in class is just, I have the added element of being on camera. And I want to be doing the exercises well, you know? I want to be demonstrating good form. And obviously, it's a lot easier to demonstrate good form if you're just doing, you know, one set, maybe two, and then getting to rest the rest of the time. But I also need to make sure that I'm demonstrating to you that you can hang on to the form for an entire class. And it gets hard, okay? As we start to get tired, as our specific muscles start to get fatigued, it gets hard. And that's why we don't start from a place of sprinting right out of the gate and this is gonna be the best thing ever. We don't start there, okay? That's why we start with, okay, when am I supposed to start moving? Can I start there consistently? When am I supposed to stop moving? Can I wait to stop moving until that horn blows? What is the exercise that I'm doing? Can I make sure that I am maintaining the form consistently or as consistently as possible? Okay? That's why we start there. Because that is so much work. Absolutely. And you know what? It is a good place to start. You do not need to worry. You are getting an awesome workout, all right? Okay. All right. Our last Tabata, my friends. Our last Tabata, going back to our classic, 20 seconds of work, 10 seconds of rest. I'm going to be kind
I'm going to give us all a treat and say, I'm giving you dealer's choice, all right? Whatever exercise that we've done today that you want to do, you can do. So that's burpees, either regular or turtle. That's mountain climbers. That's shrimps. That's kick-throughs. That's skips. That's jump ropes. And I'm going to add in flying chickens for good measure because that's what I want to do. So really, it's dealer's choice for whatever you want to do. Obviously, everything we've done today are good examples of things that you can do for a cardio class. Flaming Scarlets, a great way to end out class, all right? Or their cousin high knee runs. So actually, maybe I'll do high knee runs, who knows? But yes, dealer's choice, my friends. My gift to you at the end of a very intense, very intense cardio class where we are here working really hard, focusing in, getting all of the anxiety out, the anger out. We are channeling all of that energy into something healthy, something productive. We're gathering together. We're taking care of ourselves and of each other. And man, what better way to spend some time, huh? What better way? So yeah. And now we get to just really focus in on our nice sprinty tabatas, right? Because you gotta love, you gotta love the 20-second interval because it is not a lot of time, I promise. It probably doesn't feel that way because we're at the end of class and it's been intense, but it is not a lot of time, my friends, and you have made it here and you have been pushing yourself and challenging yourself, and wow, are you all friggin' rock stars is all I have to say about that. Yeah, checking on that form, okay? Remembering that we need to not lose that, okay? We need to not lose track of what we're doing and how it's supposed to look. All right, halfway through, my loves. Halfway through. Just 4 more sets to get through. So we are harnessing every bit of energy that we have left, and we are pouring it all in to these sets, and we are leaving it all on our mats. We have nothing else to save it for, okay? So I want you to get your inner cheerleaders out and put them on the floor next to your mats, next to your computer, your TV, wherever you are streaming this class. They're doing flips and just tumbling all over the place because they are so proud of you. And so am I. You know what? We showed up here and we were invested in doing something healthy for ourselves. Healthy does not mean forcing ourselves to do something that doesn't feel safe. Healthy does not mean expecting that we are perfect right off the bat. But healthy does mean showing up and putting your energy, your focus, your attention in, moving as much as you can, challenging yourself as much as you can, congratulating yourself on your awesomeness because You are so cool. And you did it. You did it, my friends. Woo! Oh, okay. That was a hell of a class. Oh, well done. Well done, everybody. All right. Let's get some stretching in. I'm gonna take off my glasses for now because my face is so sweaty. They're just gonna fall right off. All right. Let's take a nice even stance right here, about hip width apart with the feet. And let's just take a few breaths. We start with slowing down our breathing, and that in turn slows down our heart rate, because our heart can go, oh, okay, the lungs are no longer pumping oxygen in at a furious pace, so I can calm, I can slow down, I don't need to be distributing this oxygen quite so quickly through the body, okay? So let's just start there and feel the difference. Feel your heart rate start to go down. And now we're going to lower chin to chest and roll our head to the side, ear pointing down towards the shoulder, and then back through the center and to the other side. And we're just going to go side to side. All right. And feeling that nice stretch along the scalenes. Our head and neck are the only things moving. Okay? So I am not trying to lift my shoulders. I'm keeping my torso, my trunk nice and stable. And now back to the center. And now look to one side over the shoulder, back through the center and to the other side. And let's just go side to side. Don't forget to breathe while we're doing all of this. I definitely was there for a second, but you still need oxygen, even though we don't need it at quite so furious a pace. All right, back to the center. Bring your ear down to one shoulder. Take that arm up on the side of the head. I'm not yanking down on the head. Primarily, I'm just letting the added weight of my hand and arm intensify the stretch in the scalenes, okay? And release that arm first before you lift the head back up. And then to the other side, same thing. And then release the arm, and then the head comes up. And now we're going to roll down. We're going to bring our chin back to our chest, and as I count out an 8 count, we will roll our spine down, our neck down, one vertebra at a time until we are folded over at the hips and our hands are on the floor or as close to it as they can get, okay? So chin to chest. And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, shake the head out a little bit just to make sure you're not clenching the neck muscles, okay? And we're here feeling that nice stretch in the hamstrings, okay? And the more you're able to release at the lower back and bring your torso down closer to your thighs, the more intense that stretch will feel. All right, so every once in a while, just shake that head out and then take a deep breath and exhale and see if you can relax, release the lower back a little bit more. You can also take your hands behind your ankles and use your arms to pull your torso towards your thighs a little bit more, if that helps, if you're not getting as much of a stretch here as you would like, okay? All right, now, again on an 8 count, we're gonna take 4 counts to bend the knees all the way down and 4 counts to straighten back to this position, okay? Here we go. Down 1, 2, 3, 4, and up, 5, 6, 7, 8. Again, down, 2, 3, 4, and up, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you may feel that you were able to get even a little bit closer. So just enjoy that. Now let's take our hands, one hand to the opposite elbow. So now gravity gets to play a greater role in pulling our torso down towards the thighs. And you can let it sort of sway side to side a little bit. All right. Shake that head out again, make sure you're not clenching. And now release the hands and take them behind yourself. Clasp the hands and just let the arms fall over, all right? So now we're getting a stretch in the shoulders. We're intensifying the stretch in the hamstrings. I want you to really make sure you're breathing, okay? Because there are a lot of intense sensations here. All right, release those hands, arms back down. Now we're going to bend our knees just about 45 degrees and on an 8 count, roll back up to standing, 1 vertebra at a time. And when you get to the top, just stand there. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Stand right there. Don't adjust your hair. Don't adjust your clothes. Don't adjust your posture. I want you to just stand and breathe. I want you to feel that extra height in your spine. I want you to feel the blood moving back through your limbs. I want you to feel rooted into the ground. I want you to feel rooted in your own strength and your own power. And I want you to take that feeling through anything else that you have to do today and for the rest of the week. All right, and relax. You can shake it out a little bit. Good job, everybody. Wow. Okay. Back to our water bottles, yes? Okay. Wow. What a great class. What a powerful class. You know, it's an intense one. Absolutely. And you crushed it today, and you should be very proud. And I know I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of you. And this was exactly what I needed for class today. And I didn't always give it 110% of my energy. Sometimes I really just focused in on the bare minimum. And when I allowed myself to just focus there, I took a lot of the stress that I placed on myself mentally, and I threw it out the window because I wasn't
striving for a goal that was starting to feel unattainable. I was just doing the bare minimum. And that is a great place to start. Oh man, good job, everybody. Mm-hmm. Woo! All right. See, and isn't that a nice little pop of energy for midweek? Just gives us the opportunity to recenter ourselves, so we can blast through Thursday and Friday with style. And I am really, really happy. Really happy, my friends. It was a pleasure. I know that I felt really good about challenging myself, and I hope that you were able to find some of those spots too. All right. We've got 2 more classes this week. Friday at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time is Functional Home Fitness, where we do weight training using objects you can find around the house. And then Saturday morning at 9 a.m. is the weekend kickoff, which is our awesome strength and stamina focused bodyweight class. So please come join for either or both of those classes. They are both a very fun time. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All those handles will be in my end cards, but they are all variations on Blanche Case Fitness. My YouTube channel is where I upload all the VODs from these streams, so you never have to miss a class, even if you can't make the live cast. So definitely head over there and subscribe. If you want to help support me financially in making these streams, I do have a coffee account at Blanche Case Fitness. Your donations are always very much appreciated. We are also a Twitch affiliate channel now, so you can follow or you can subscribe if you want a way to support on a more regular basis. And if you want to help keep growing this channel, then please tell your friends, loved ones, coworkers, anyone looking for an awesome class. I stream 4 days a week. We have a wonderful community here. We have done so much in just the last year, and I'm so proud of everything that we've accomplished, and I'm so excited to see where we can go next. So definitely, please keep coming, keep hanging out, keep working out with us. If you are looking for ways to support our Asian American and Asian and Pacific Islander communities today, I have tweeted out some resources that you can go to. Please do, even if you are not able to do anything financial, even if you are not able to donate your time right now, please use your voice however you can. This is unacceptable. White supremacy is always unacceptable. It must be challenged at all times. We cannot allow the standard narrative to take hold. We have to start challenging and sticking to that challenge whenever we see white supremacy trying to whitewash hate crimes, because it has been able to do so for far too long. All right, my loves, let's take this energy. Let's hydrate ourselves. Let's get a good dinner. Have a nice post-class shower. Oh my God, that's gonna feel good. Take this energy through whatever else you got going on, and I will see you back here again on Friday. Mwah. Have a great night.